Guys, this video is about who's the real enemy and who are we really prepping for. So guys, I appreciate that you guys watch my channel and watch what I do, because I'm very passionate about it. And believe it or not, I definitely am not doing it for the money. If you saw my P&L statement, you would understand that. So I do it because I really care about you, I care about the country, and I care about my well-being, and I care about my family. But it really comes into mind, or into play, who am I really preparing to protect myself from? I mean, what is the purpose behind this entire horde? I mean, why do I have so much food and lights and shovels and machetes and backpacks and bug out cans and stoves and water purification systems and saws and axes and gimmicks and radios and grappling hooks and slingshots and guns and ammunition and bug out bicycles and caches and water barrels and ammunition stores and everything? I mean, who and why am I doing this stuff? Well, you know, I'm sitting in the room this weekend and I'm watching the news, because when I'm in LA, I live in Texas. I'm from Texas. I only work in California. I don't live in California, although my business has been here for 15, 16 years. I'm such a proud Texan that I refuse to not claim my residency in Texas. Therefore, I have a home in Texas. I have a Texas driver's license. I like to buy guns. You can't buy guns in California. There's so many restrictions here. I feel sorry for the people in California. We should all say a prayer for the people in California, because they're overtaxed. It's the most taxed state in the country. It has the highest amount of welfare, although 34 or 37% of everyone in the United States that's on welfare is in California. I mean, it's such a drain on this country, and it's because of the leadership in this state. I mean, it makes no sense, but some of these people are just screwed up in the head. That's all I can say. Common sense does not come into play here. But, you know, this video is about who is the real enemy. So you guys that are sitting at home watching this video on YouTube, and by the way, hey guys, if you enjoy what I say and what I do, help me share my videos with a friend. If you're not a subscriber, I'd love to have you on as a subscriber so you can watch my channel. Most of the stuff I do is very fun. I build bunkers. I build these fantasy bunkers. I really enjoy what I do. I'm very passionate about it. I definitely am not doing it for the money. I do it because I believe in it. This is my life. You're getting to see how I live and what I do every day. None of this is made up or mimicked. It is all real. This is the person I am. I like to hunt. I like to fish. I live for duck hunting in Canada. I mean, if you ever see my board, my things to do is go duck hunting, clean ducks, go duck hunting again, and buy another gun. And that's pretty much my life, you know. But, you know, I'm watching news this weekend, and I'm really trying to figure out who the enemy is. Who are we preparing to fight? And if anybody watching this has been personally attacked by China or feels that China is trying to tell you the way to think, vote, live, breathe, anything, raise your hand right now. Is China the enemy? Are they trying to do anything from over there? No. Okay, not in my world. Is Russia? Is anybody watching this? Is anybody in Russia trying to tell you how to think, dress, sleep, who you can love, anything? Is Russia trying to do this? Are they trying to change your life? Raise your hand if you are. For me, it's not. But within the United States, every single day, all I do is, and it's because this hotel I'm staying at, all they get is CNN, okay? So I have to watch CNN to get my news, okay? And if I was not an American, let's say I was from some other country, Australia or whatever, I would come in here and I would see the commercials and the news. And I was like, oh my God, do you know that in America they're this way and this way and this way? It is not like that. You know, what we see on TV commercials and how people are portrayed, it's not really like that, or at least I don't see it here in California, and this is one of the most open places on earth. Now, people say, you're not a leftist. No. Am I conservative right? Well, no, I would say I'm more of a kind of a moderate, but if I had to lean one way, if push came to shove, of course I would probably go to the right, because there's no way I could go to the left. But, you know, I believe in letting people live and let live. You know, let people do their thing. I don't want people to tell me how to think, and I don't want to tell people how to think. Just let people live. People say they want to be treated as an equal. I don't have a problem with that. But when these same people, now all of a sudden they want to be special and the minority be put ahead of the majority, you know, that's when we start saying, you know, this isn't right, you know. You know, I keep wandering off my point of this video here because I don't want to insult anybody watching this. You know, I don't take a political stance on this channel. I don't make it a liberal channel. I don't make it a conservative channel. It's just my opinion, okay? And I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to offend anybody, but the person we are hoarding for to defend ourselves moving forward is not some Russian, it's not some Chinese, it's not somebody from Iran, it's not from Palestine. I'm trying to think what countries we don't get along with. It's not from North Korea. North Korea is definitely not trying to tell me how to live my life. But it's people around us. They're trying to tell us the way that we were brought up. You know, I'm 56 years old, and they're trying to tell me the way I was brought up is now wrong. And if I don't see it their way, I'm homophobic, anti this, anti that, and stuff. And it's not that. I'm decent, okay? And decent people do the right thing even when no one's looking. I want to tell you a story about how I found Jesus Christ. I actually found Jesus Christ on YouTube. It just kind of came to me. It's like I'm doing YouTube videos now, and it's funny how I found Jesus Christ was on YouTube. And you're like, where did you find him on YouTube? Well, the point is that you find him, that you do find him in your life, and however he comes into your life is important. But I was up one night, I'm laying in bed, I'm watching YouTube videos, and I'm watching the story about this little girl named Akiane that at 4 years old was having visions of heaven.
The place I had been was not here on earth. After that mysterious incident, I couldn't stop drawing in color pastels.
And started painting, and started these paintings, and she created this painting called Prince of Peace. And I'll show the image of him right now. This is her portrait of Jesus Christ after what she said she saw him in the vision she had for him. So I was like, well, that's cool. And then I watched the video and whatever, I go on. And then I come across this other video about this little boy that was in an accident, and he goes into a coma at 4 years old. And when he comes out of the coma, he's telling his father about he went to heaven and he met Jesus and he met God and he met all these angels, and how all these angels had wings and how they had different size wings, and how about God had these really big wings and stuff. And he's the little boy who wrote the book, Heaven is for Real. Okay? But the entire time when he kept trying to explain what Jesus Christ looked like, he could never get somebody to paint it properly. And then one day, and this is on the other side of the country, they have nothing to do with each other, this little girl, this 4-year-old at the same time, is having these images of Jesus Christ. Okay? And she paints the painting of the Prince of Peace of Jesus Christ. And then after a few years, somehow the little boy saw the painting of the Prince of Peace, and he goes, that's him, that's the guy. That's Jesus right there. There he is. And in my heart, I knew that 4-year-olds don't conspire things like this. And sometimes it just takes something to make you believe. And that was the thing that made me believe. 2 4-year-old kids, a little boy and a little girl, seeing images. Well, one saw images and one actually said he went to heaven and came back because he died. He went to heaven and came back to life and they revived him. But this is how I found Jesus Christ. So I know there's going to be some people are going to comment below of like, how did you find him? So rather than do that, I came back in here and I edited a little part for you guys to explain that not only do you find ways to do things on YouTube, you can find your soul on YouTube. So I suggest, and I'll put links to these videos below about the little girl Akiane that did the painting, and the little boy about heaven is for real in the book. And you guys can watch these videos on your own and determine for yourself, okay? You know, if you guys aren't close with God and you haven't found Jesus Christ, you need to find Jesus Christ, because when you find Jesus Christ, nothing matters in the world except Jesus Christ. You don't worry about money. You don't worry about cars. You don't worry about planes. You realize that your time on earth is just a blink of an eye, and you'll be gone then, okay? And you can't take all these possessions with you. You know, you'll spend the rest of your life in heaven, and if you don't believe, you'll spend the rest of your life in hell. But I believe the moral compass falls on religion. If you can't find Jesus Christ, or you don't believe in anything greater than yourself, how can you find decency within your heart? I just don't know how it's possible. I had a friend, one of my good friends recently, that is sad, but he's turned into an atheist, a hardcore atheist. Matter of fact, it's one thing not to believe in God, but it's one thing when you start picking on Jesus and you pick on people who believe in God and say, you're stupid, you're an idiot. That is taken atheism to another level. If you're an atheist, just keep quiet about it. But don't say, oh, you're stupid to believe in some guy, you know? Oh my God. And when that happens, then you notice that these people go off a cliff and their moral compass gets way out of whack. And I hate to see people go down like that. So if you haven't found Jesus Christ, let me tell you what, when you do find him, write down the date in a notebook that you find Jesus Christ, because you don't ever want to forget that date. And when I did, I wrote it down in the notebook because I don't ever want to forget that date. And I wrote down, on this date, I believe in Jesus Christ. And it makes a difference in your life because you're at peace. I could die right now and I'm not worried about it. I have no fear of death, not an ounce of fear of death. If I'm in a head-on crash this afternoon and I die, and this is my last will and testament, I know where I'm going to be and I'm not worried about it. So it just gives you some peace of mind. So if you guys are all freaked out about the end of the world and stuff like that, all I can say is find Jesus Christ, and then the world's not going to matter to you. Matter of fact, you're going to embrace it because you know you're going to go to a better place. But the moral of this whole video was, who's the real enemy, okay? And is America going to head for some kind of a civil war? And I wouldn't say I get my intel and my information from my customers or my clients. I'm a good observer. I watch both sides. I like to watch a good football game where I'm not for either side, because all I want to see is a good competition. Okay, when it's my team, then I'm all nervous and stuff. But, you know, I watched a bunch of Texas high school playoff football this weekend, and there were some great games, and they were so competitive, and it was enjoyable. So I'm like in the middle. I hear both sides, and if I was a jury, I would say one side is opening their heart and listening. The other side is so closed-minded that you could give them scientific evidence and they don't care. They're just blind to it. And it's sad. And how do you make peace with someone that is so blind to the facts and to the truth? And it's like they've been hypnotized, or they're in some la-la land. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But these same people are the ones that want to change the world that we live in and tell decent people that you're no longer wanted, and they want to change everything about this country. They can't change the world, but they can change this country. And this country is really the main one I care about because I live in it. Now, I understand that I have a lot of followers in Australia and the UK, and I understand you guys are going through the same thing that we're going through here, except y'all went through it sooner. Australia, you guys, you had your guns taken away. The only thing you have is a gun that was, if it was created after, say, 1860, it's illegal. Because the only thing they can have there is a breakdown double-barrel shotgun. They can have a bolt-action rifle. They can have a revolver, and or a muzzle loader or something like that. And there might be something else, but as far as I know, that's all the guns that they can have there. They can't have a pump. They can't have a lever action. They can't have a semi-automatic. They took them all away, and it's sad because I went to Australia hunting one time like 30 years ago, and we brought all these guns and we shot the shit out of animal or the stuff that we hunted over there. And then they had a mass shooting, and the prime minister just took all the guns and they cut them up. And they gave everybody like $100 a gun or something like that, I believe. And then the United Kingdom, which is, you know, London and Great Britain and all that stuff, you guys have really never got to experience what we had in America, but you do have hunting there, yeah, because I've seen it on YouTube. Y'all like to shoot rats with air rifles, and you do have bird hunting, and you shoot crows, and you shoot pigeons, and you shoot foxes and stuff. So you do have limited guns if you're in a gun club. But, you know, America's under attack, and I don't know how much longer we as a country can stay together. If we were two people, we would be divorced. We would break up and go our separate ways, but we're a country. And unless we break up the country and we take one part of it and make it one way and one part and make it another way, I just don't see how this country can survive. Then we could be the united groups or united countries of North America instead of the United States, because we are not a United States. California should be its own different world because these people think differently. They're so far in debt because they're so concerned about things that are for other people instead of its own citizens that it doesn't make sense. And you know what? If that's the way they feel and that's their heart, more power to them. But it's not how most of the country feels. But so that, you know, as I start off, you know, the moral of this entire video is who's the real enemy. So, you know, I guess if you're still watching this and I haven't bored you to death, based on what I've seen and what I know and the way that the world's going, everybody should be hoarding this stuff right here, because this is the only insurance plan that I have against a future civil war or whatever could happen in this country. You know, I hope I never use an ounce of it other than demonstrating to you guys how it works. It will be sad, because if it comes to that, there's not going to be more Sunday night football. There's not going to be any more, a lot of things. But the only answer is to divide and live and let live. And it's sad, but this is the world that we're coming to. So if you think they're going to come for your guns, you better get you one of these monovaults, okay? And then get the gun liners that cover your guns and the little things that go inside there that keep the humidity out. And you better start burying your cache. So this I bought from a company called Monovault. Okay, that's the name on the top. I don't know if that's a brand or whatever. I don't have any people or endorsers or any sponsors. I mean, I'd say I put some ads on some there just to help people I know, but no one's ever given me anything for anything to do anything for them. But yeah, it's a sad time we live in. It's really sad, and I just want us all to get along. And you know, I grew up in a time where we didn't have this kind of crap, and it's sad that it dominates the news now. You know, Fox is anti-left, CNN and MSNBC is anti-right, and it's just, and the kids are being raised to where morals are out the window, and it's just, America's going to hell in a handbasket. But you know, the only constant that I've found in my life is Jesus Christ. So I hope people watching this, if you've never found Jesus Christ, find Christ. and you probably won't even care about a lot of these things here. It seems to be the answer, and you don't have to go to church to find Jesus Christ, because I basically don't go to church. I'm probably going to go down as the worst Christian ever, but in my heart I know I'm in the right place. And those of you who are Christians understand that too. And there's nothing more fun when I go hunting with another Christian and we get to talk about Jesus Christ and stuff, because before then you'd be embarrassed to talk about it, but once you find it, it's like, wow, you get excited when you get to talk about Jesus Christ and how you feel in your heart. So, but if you don't have Jesus Christ in your heart and you feel you need to do something, start building a cache room like this. Get the supplies you need. It will give you some peace of mind. And if everyone in your family, like mine, I don't know anyone else in my family that's found Jesus Christ except my sister and my mother, who's died and gone to heaven already. But other than me and my sister, you know, so do I do this for myself? No. I don't think I bought any of this stuff for me so I can survive. I bought all this stuff so I can help others survive. I don't need 30 water purification systems, but the people who I try to save might. Do I need the amount of food that I have buried? No, but it will definitely feed a lot of people when the time's right. I'm one of these people, I care more about you than I care about myself, and I don't know why I'm that way, but that's just the way I am. I just guess I was raised good or something. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed listening to me spew my opinion on who the real enemy is. And the real enemy is among us, okay? And I don't know how we get this enemy away from us, you know. If the Bible's right, then it's written in the Bible, and everything about the rapture and the tribulation and it's going to come true. And if you believe in that, you should do what I do. You should prepare and live your life like I do. But tell you what, next video we're going to build a bunker, and it's going to be exciting, and I hope you enjoy it. So I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.